Welcome to Channel AMAC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested in migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side so once you have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one getting all the insight. Now, exciting week that we had just receiving the opening of the state nomination of the state of Victoria. Now today we have the South Australia states which has opened up its state nomination. So we will quickly give you an update and refresh of what the state of South Australia offer. If you are already working and staying and living or graduate or study in South Australia, this is right for you. Now, not much for the offshore, but they do open for offshore as well. But let's have a look at the information that we have received today, and we'll go through. I think there are 3 major streams. We'll go through that with you in this video. All right, okay. Now, first of all, back in July, the state of South Australia has announced that they have an allocation of 3,800, which 3,000 will be put in on the subclass 190, which is very good. They put the bulk of the quota for the permanent residency applications rather than some states. They put a lot under 491. Now they only got 800 places for 491. Anyway, there's an additional 1,500 nomination compared to the year before. So as you can see, the date of this was back in 22nd of July. Now today, this one is let's scroll down. As you can see, it's right today, the 15th of August. So as I have received the information, I was refreshing all around all the migration department's website. Now I found that the South Australia has now opened for their general skill migration. So let's do it. Okay, so they have a new, I think the occupation list stays the same as 464. I cannot recall back last year was 464 or 463 or 420, but anyhow, I think they cover the bulk and the most of the occupation for all the skilled migrants category. So we will go through the structure of how South Australia government has actually prepared for everybody. It's a very, very good and useful website compared to some other states. I don't want to mention the names, but it's just too complicated for some states. Now some, or maybe just one. Anyway, they have 464 open and they got 3 streams. One is people who are already employed and work in South Australia, and another one is who has studied and graduate from South Australia, as you can see that right there. And the third one is who actually work in the outer regional skill employment stream. So that will be some of the tech firms. They are not in the suburban area of South Australia. That means the city of Adelaide, and some of the agriculture, for example, vineyard and wineries around South Australia. Now they do open for offshore, but it's only for 427, so a little bit short compared to 464. I'm not too sure which occupation has been removed for the offshore stream, but the best is that they have provide a search engine that we're going to go through. It will be very easy. So all you need to do is you ask yourself, what is my occupation? And all you need to do is go to that search engine, punch in your occupation, and then they will tell you what options that you have. So it's pretty easy to navigate through. That is the good side of the South Australia migrations website. Now, Business Innovation Investment Program is now open. As we all know, they will be replaced by a so-called National Innovation Visa that's going to come up in later this year. Employment sponsor is not much of what the state government should deal with, but if you do have been employed, you can actually access. I've done tons of video on employment sponsor visa 482, 186 and things like that. There will be upcoming changes into skills in demand visa, but we'll have that updated for you. All right, let's jump into the actual all right, the first thing, yes, the easiest way to navigate yourself through South Australia's migration website is just jump into the skill occupation search engine. It's so easy to navigate. All you need to do is you come into this page. I think you can access to this page through its the home page. As you can see, it's just been updated to today, 15th of August. All you need to do is punch into your whatever the occupation. So if you punch in ICT, you see it's straight away, very quick. You can navigate easily rather than jumping through different web pages and compare. So if you're a ICT business analysis, all you need to do is press this and it will tell you what stream that you can actually access into if your occupation is ICT business analysis. So if you're a graduate, you need to do this, meeting these criteria. If you're working in South Australia, you need to meet this requirement. If you're in outer regional, you need to meet this requirement. If you're not even in Australia, then that is your requirement, blah, 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 and go on, so on and so forth. So it's pretty handy. So if we, let's remove that, let's punch in architect, very quickly, they'll get you there. So it's pretty good, very easy to navigate through. All right, now let's go into a little bit of detail. Now, the first page that we wanted to go is actually for the skilled migrants who is currently living in South Australia and working in the nominated occupation. Okay, so the requirement is that you need to put in an EOI. That's for sure. EOI. If you don't know about EOI, you need to search on within my channel, punch in skill select. It's basically how all the skill migration system works for Australia. You need to submit an expression of interest. Once you have that done, you will have a reference number, and then you come back to South Australia's website, and you see on the top right of the South Australia website, there's a start application. All you need to do is go there, or perhaps you need some services or requirement. You can contact us for additional service there. Now, you need to check your nominated occupation is within the occupation list. So that's what we have just done. You check on that one there. Mostly all the occupations shall be in there. Now, you need to be currently living and working in South Australia under 45 year age, and you need to have a positive skill assessment. It's very vital. Without skill assessment, you cannot even have your EOI done. No, so not just saying that you can actually apply through the state. Anyhow, you need at least minimum of competent English that's equivalent to IELTS 6 across 4 bands. Unless your nominated occupation require registration license practicing in South Australia. If your occupation require registration license in South Australia, for example, doctors, nurses, some teachers, they need to have some license, special license. Okay. Apart from passport holder of US, UK, Ireland, Canada, New Zealand, they're not required. But again, if you want to have a high score for your EOI, you still need to take the test. Okay, you need to at least get 65 points. Okay, and that's the minimum point, so they stay low. Now, the only requirement additional compare from South Australia and Victoria that we have the video yesterday is that you need to be living already in last 12 months, at least 12 months, and you have to be working in at least 12 months within your occupation for at least the full-time definition is 30 hours per week. And this is strange. All the states has a different criteria on working hours per week. Not too sure why they don't just standardize it. But anyhow, is it a full-time definition for ATO, Australian Taxation Office? It's actually different than this, I think. I think it's at least 35. But anyhow, they said 30 is 30 then. Your job must be related, okay? And, meeting your ends code, and you undertake skill work experience post-course completion. And then once you get invitation to apply, then they will ask you for documentations, and you just submitted through the portal. So that's the first stream. The other one is if you have studied in South Australia and graduate as an international student, and you obviously obtain a temporary graduate visa, that's subclass 485, who are chosen South Australia. Now, mostly they are the same. You need to do an EOI, choose the occupation list, occupation in the list, currently live and work in South Australia, supposedly. So if you have study in South Australia, Adelaide, for example, a graduate, and you left South Australia, you go to Melbourne, for example. All right. Then you don't meet this requirement anymore. You know, you cannot submit it anymore. You got to be under 45. You got to have a skill assessment done. You got to at least have competent English. This is all the same. And meeting 65 points, and you're required to demonstrate you have studied in the required courses. Now, this is all, you know, pretty standard. You gotta within the university, meeting the qualification requirement, and you need to have minimum of 75% of the qualification done in South Australia. For example, that how do you calculate that? Now, for example, if you study a master of 2 years courses, you can only have 1 semester not in South Australia. For example, you study 1 semester in QUT Brisbane, and you suddenly think that you got an offer from University of Adelaide, then you transfer all your credit from QUT to Uni of Adelaide and study for another 3 semesters. Then that you meet the 75% qualification requirement completed in South Australia. So that's basically it. You have been residing in South Australia for at least last 6 months. All right, 6 months, and then you have to be working also in the 6 months, full-time 30 hours, and that's the thing that's required for South. So it's a little bit tougher compared to what the state of Victoria offer. It's a little bit different, but anyhow, that's what they are basically offering them. Now, the last but not least, it's the offshore applicants. So skilled migrants who are currently living and working in the outer regional area of South Australia. Offshore is another one that you can actually find out from their search engine, but this one is for outer regional. Again, the regional structure in the system has not really been offering with a better options, as we have seen from the Victoria's state nomination. It's the same thing. I think the whole game plan is just they have mapped out in the wrong direction. It's not attractive at all. But anyhow, let's have a go. EOI done. You gotta within the occupation list. Yes, you gotta be live and working outer regional South Australia. Now again, why would you, unless it's a very specific occupation required to be outer regional? And if you've been to South Australia, or you've been to Australia and you've been to any outer regional, it's just very rural, outback. Not too sure if there'll be very, very limited people. So I suspect that's the reason why they only giving out 491 for 800 places, but they know there's really minimal people being out there. Competent English 65 points, and working outer regional for at least 9 months, and that's it. So I think that's for the state nomination of 2024-25 for the state of South Australia. Now, compared to Victoria, yes, it's not as good as for Victoria, but for those international graduates, if you have been working 6 months in South Australia with the occupational jobs closely related to your occupation, then perhaps that will be your option there, because at least they got about 3,000 places there. That's quite an amount compared to a lot of other states, and that's for state of South Australia. Should you have more question, query, more than welcome to leave comment right down below, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.